Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for having us here in Montreal. It's a great pleasure to be here. I think we're going to be in for something very, very special on Saturday evening. You've got a great fighter that I'm involved with, I promote, Billy Joe Saunders. He's been a fantastic ambassador for British boxing. He's done everything the hard way. He's won the British title, the Commonwealth title, European title, and he's obviously the WBO champion. And I know in Canada, people know what the Commonwealth title is. So he's here. He's in David's backyard. We've got a big fight on at the Arena Place Bell. We're all looking forward to it. And I think we're going to see something very, very special between two good fighters whose styles, I believe, complement each other. Bill's a very smart boxer. He's got a good chin. He's never been on the floor as an amateur or a pro. He's got himself into a fantastic position at the moment with his new trainer, Dominic Ingle, who's come on board one fight ago. They've now settled down. From Bill's point of view, physically, I've never seen him look so well. And more importantly for Bill is mentally, where he's at mentally. And mentally, he's right on the money. So we're going to see something, as I say, very special. I'd like to thank, obviously, Camille, Eye of the Tiger Management, Oscar De La Hoya, Eric Gomez, CEO of Golden Boy, and my great friend Bernard Hopkins, who I think was one of the great fighters of his generation. I'd also like to thank HBO, BT, Box Nation, who are broadcasting the fight back in the UK, prime time, and I'd like to thank also MTK, who are Bill's management, to help us get this event together. As I say, we've got something special on Saturday. Please tune in to see it or buy a ticket to be there, because I think it's got the potential of being fight of the year. Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank Quebec, thank Montreal, everybody that participating, and also, letting everyone know, broadcasting it about this fight. David Lemieux, Saunders, y'all come behind a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff, fortunately for boxing in the middleweight division. And they both have the goods to carry on in the next year, 2018, with excitement of the middleweight division, what's going to happen next in 2018. So when I look at this fight like the end of the year, books are closing, and we're going in and getting ready, really, mostly all the promoters and networks are getting ready for the calendar, or at least got the first 2 months already figured out, January, February. And like reading a good book or a book, period, until you know it's good, you got to read it. And you got to go to the first part of the book. You got to open it, you got to read it, and then you got to get to the end. Well, we at the end. And most of us will admit that the end of the book is what you remember the most. So let's look at this as the end of the year. And you got two guys that styles really go together. You heard it from Frank Warren, you heard it from Eric Gomez, and I couldn't agree more that when you have that type of skill and you have that type of matchups, you're going to have fireworks. Anyone that underestimates Frank Warren bringing a fighter from wherever he brings them from, whether it's home or whether it's here, you gotta take that seriously. I know from experience that they ain't come here to lay down, they ain't come here to give anything away. So our fighter, David Lemieux, know that he must be at his best and some. And so I gave the blessing, as I gave it just now to the middleweight division, that's still in the sport highlight of all the divisions. And it's their chance now to set themselves aside to be the superstar of that division. But they have to get past the test come Saturday. And HBO, I like to say to Peter Nelson while he's here, when I met Peter, he said, I want to do big fights, and I want to do the best fights, and I want to look at the talent that's in every division. He lived up to that, and I say this person in front of all y'all, that to make all the pieces work, it's like bringing a puzzle to a board that need to be put together. Whether it's the manager, Eye of the Tiger, whether it's Golden Boy, whether it's the networks, promoters, there's 3 or 4 promoters up here. Joe DeGuire, who's a good friend. Frank just mentioned how he respects me, and I respect him, even though we was on the other side of the table many times. But at the end of the day, we in a room where you got multiple players that brought pieces that's valuable, that's pieces that's relevant to make this happen. That's why it's crowded like this. That's why y'all are excited, I believe, or I want to believe. And so it's their job now. But Peter Nelson have lived up, as far as I'm concerned, and this ain't overstretching it. I'm just being who I always been. I'm a straight shooter. And for all this to work from the beginning of the year to now at the end, and the year before that, there's more to come. That's the good, scary part, that there's more to come. So Lemieux and Saunders, the baton is in your hands. Go into next year knowing that you are representing the middleweight division, a historic middleweight division. Goes all the way back, just like boxing, 100+ years. So I'll say to the fighters on the undercard, because I'm not going to exempt y'all from what's happening. What y'all should learn right now, you're not the main, but you have an opportunity to be the main conversation on people's lips after Saturday night. You understand? So be in good contest with yourself and everything else around you, and set yourself aside. So the undercard, the main event, and anything in the middle, you strive for what you want to strive. So I'm motivating everybody to understand that. So if you believe that, then let's see Saturday night. Have a good show. Enjoy it, everybody, and get ready for 2018 Golden Boy and HBO, and everybody else is involved. We got some more coming for you. Thank you.
You know, it's the talk is done now. It's time to walk the walk. The talk is done. He has a strong jaw, Saunders. That's for sure. You know, he can put those words together, call me frog, short legs. It's pretty funny, but I don't get it, but it's pretty funny. Let's see if you can, let's see how well you back up those words this Saturday. Yes, I'm very well aware of your abilities. I hope you're aware of mine, not just a puncher, but you'll see on Saturday. It's going to be a great night of boxing. You know, the fans are going to be pleased. They want to see some guys fight. You know, people would like to see blood. People like to see blood and big punches. That's what they're going to see on Saturday, on my behalf at least. So, hey, and I remember Saunders promised his paycheck if I beat him on Saturday. Remember Saturday, it's going to come pretty fast. Thank you, guys. See you Saturday.
Coach of Mr. Saunders, who currently, I say currently, is WBO world champion.
I might have to pass on this because I'm getting a bit of stage fright.
Sorry?
I might have to pass on this. I'm getting a bit of stage fright.
You don't look shy.
I'm up against it.
You don't look like you're
we're
shy.
up against it in the backyard, so I might have to pass on that one.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Montreal, Canada. We're here today for the Lemieux, or should I say Saunders-Lemieux world title fight on Saturday. It's going to be a great fight. It's a 50-50 fight. But I honestly believe that my man, Billy Joe Saunders, can not only talk the talk, he can walk the walk. It was very interesting listening to Bernard, great fighter, middleweight champion. I was opposite him one time when he boxed a British fighter, Howard Eastman. He was the unified champion of the world. What a great fighter. And it was interesting listening to his analogy of how boxing's like a book and a story. And I think he's right in that sense that You know, we're really in the first chapter for Billy Joe Saunders. But I think we're in the final chapter for David Lemieux. And it's not going to have a fairy tale ending. There's not going to be a Sleeping Beauty or a Cinderella at the end of it. It's going to be the pantomime villain, Billy Joe Saunders. This is a classic bull and matador fight. David can punch, Billy can box. Nobody so far has managed to stop Billy Joe Saunders, and I can't see that happening. You know, David's a great fighter, he's a good fighter. He's lost 3 times to 3 good fighters. You know, Golovkin, tremendous fighter. Nobody's beaten him yet. There's no shame in that. But he's also lost to smart fighters in Rubio, Alcine. And Billy's one of those smart fighters. You know, he's the world champion. He doesn't know what it's like to lose. David knows at the end of the day, if he loses, he's been in that scenario before. He can go back home, put his feet up, talk to his wife or his girlfriend, carry on life as normal. But for Billy, he's never had that. He only knows how to win. And that makes a massive difference when you've got that confidence going into a fight. So on Saturday, you know, we're going to see who can talk the talk and who's going to walk the walk. And for me, on Saturday night, Billy Joe Saunders is going to come out of that ring still as the WBO World Middleweight Champion. Thank you.
Now, Billy Joe Saunders, we'd like to hear what you have to say before Saturday night.
First of all, I just want to thank HBO, Frank Warren Promotions, my management, MTK, and the full team, everyone flying out. And thanks to, obviously, all the fans who spending hard money to watch this showdown on Saturday. Now, this is you know, boxer versus puncher, but, you know, I've been in the ring 25 times now. 6 or 7 of them, I've been the underdog big time. Eubank, every single one of them, I've boxed on 60% into boxing. Anybody will tell you. And when you don't love boxing, when you're not in love with the game and you're still winning, and you sit back and you go home and you think, how did I get through that? How did I win that? But then when you do find your love back for it, and you're around good people, working with good people, you feel happy again. There's an old saying, an happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. And I haven't been this happy for, I can't remember being this happy, probably in the amateur days. And for the last 6, 7, 8 months, I've never been so happy. I'm not excited to get in the ring. I just used to be excited to weigh in so I'd go and eat a load of shit. But now I'm excited to get in the ring and put on a classic display. Because not only am I mixing it with a top fighter, but also in front of the likes of the greats of Bernard Hopkins and stuff like that, who I've watched as a kid, and you know, Oscar De La Hoya. So to put in a performance like that, I want the winner, if the rematch happens, of Golovkin or Canelo, or even Canelo. I mean, my management team's here, my promoters here, my trainers here. After I deal with David Lemieux Saturday, I'll be happy to sit down with Oscar De La Hoya and sign that fight before I leave the country. But listen, I'm not an idiot. I'm far from idiot. I know that over here I'll have to be on it. There's no switching off. I will be on it from round 1 to whenever it ends. And David, if you are that confident, we'll put £500,000 on it if you want, dollars. My lawyer's over there. That if you beat me, I will let you choose what charity, children's cancer charity, and vice versa, if you're game to do it. Or if you're not getting 500,000, then you know we'll negotiate what purse you are getting. But that relevant in the situation. If you're willing to do that, I'm most definitely willing to do that. That's how confident I'm beating David. You know, David has to come from round one and try and knock me out, because when he's hitting fresh air, he's got he's very injury prone. Hands, shoulders. As we've seen as a good friend of mine, James DeGale, rushed an injury back, didn't plan out. So what I don't want is from David's team is an excuse. You know, he's a good fighter. He's mixed it with Golovkin at the very elite level. Now, Bernard knows about mixing it with elite level because he was an elite fighter himself. Some just aren't good enough. Some's just not good enough, and you was not good enough. Simple. Am I good enough? We'll soon see. In my own heart and mind, I know I can deal with him, and then I want Golovkin and Canelo to see where I really am. But also thanks to Eye of the Tiger management, and I hope everyone has a very, very good night of boxing, and enjoy yourself because it's going to be a good show.
Well,